But this, to me, was one of the most ridiculous, disgusting, insane things I've seen in a long time. And
I could not believe
And the
it.
entire reason that CNN pushed this ridiculous bullshit is simply because Trump is behind it. So if you didn't see the breaking news earlier today, President Trump, I guess he's now, although he's not really openly conceding yet, at least he's now starting to make decisions on his way out. Basically, who knows why he's making these decisions? Is it for his legacy? Is it to screw Biden? I don't know.
Openly conceding. I mean, last night he tweeted, "I won the election."
Right, so he's not willing to concede, but he might be making some decisions now knowing that he's on his way out. He won't say it, but he knows he's on his way out. So one of those decisions, again, I don't really care why he's making the decisions if they're the right decisions. He is drawing down troops in Afghanistan and Iraq. Not completely pulling them out, but taking, removing troops from Afghanistan and Iraq. Right now we have 4,500 troops in Afghanistan. He's pulling 2,000 troops. So it will go down to 2,500 troops. In Iraq, which I thought we were gone, but apparently we're not, we have 3,000 troops in Iraq. He's pulling 500. So closer, not completely, but closer to totally withdrawn. I mean, 2,500 troops in Afghanistan is still too many, but at least it's within, it's within the light at the end of the tunnel to get out of this ridiculous, wasteful 20-year war. About to hit 20 years. So to me, is Trump doing it to screw Biden? Is Trump doing it to screw the warmongers, screw the military-industrial complex, piss off his neocon advisors, the ones that are still there or gone? Who cares? Whatever the reason, who cares? It's a good thing. And, I think you could credit Trump without being a traitor to the country. He deserves credit if he pulls troops out. Well, CNN, Jen, is aghast at this notion. CNN is absolutely aghast.
There's probably an element of this that is about weakening Joe Biden as much as possible for purely political reasons, because this is a president who is going to be leaving the White House while also ceding the ground for a potential second run for office. And he's also trying to build a foundation upon which Republicans can continue to succeed with Trumpism. And in order to do that, he has to be able to say, I promise to get us out of these foreign wars, and the Democrats want to keep us in these foreign wars. So a lot of this is about being able to have a rhetorical platform for the president. But again, as you point out, there are obviously real life consequences. And I think the most important part of this that sticks out to me that we can't forget is that the president just spent the last 2 weeks purging the civilian leadership of the Pentagon. We have to ask real questions about why that happened and what was the end game. Why would the president try to do that was the question that we had all along. Now we're seeing one of the main reasons why, and that should really be an alarming thing for a lot of people in Washington.
And Gloria, I mean, if he's doing this to weaken Joe Biden, he's doing this at the expense of the safety of American troops.
Absolutely.
To do something this quickly. I mean, not that we should be particularly surprised. We're also watching him stand idly by while Americans die, and he doesn't really seem to give a damn that they're dying of coronavirus. He hasn't changed his tune. He just pretends it doesn't exist. And here he is doing something that really could put at risk American troops.
Right. Absolutely. And I think what he wants to do, as Abby is saying, is drop a problem in Joe Biden's lap. And if you know the history of Joe Biden, he has not been one who is for robust military intervention in any way, shape, or form. So he can drop this problem on Biden. And if Biden believes he needs to put these troops back, he would do it, because if he believes, and his Pentagon brass believe, that it is in the safety of American troops and in the national security interests of this country.
So I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start on that absolute madness. I don't even know where to start. Do you start with just Trump derangement, the fact that we're in a we're in a moment in just the zeitgeist where if Trump announced the cure for cancer, they'd say it's a bad thing. Again,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Ronald McDonald deciding this. I don't care why Trump is deciding this. But the insane phrase, and we'll get to Gloria Berger's insane lie that Joe Biden doesn't have a history of military adventurism, advocating for that. But Breonna Taylor,
Military adventure.
I think her name's Breonna Keeler, the anchor, says,
Yeah.
Running the risk of moving too quickly. Moving too quickly? What do you want us to be there? Is 50 years in Afghanistan enough time? What do you mean, moving too quickly? First of all, he's not withdrawing all the troops. He should.
Right.
It can't, like, all this notion of like, oh no, you can't move that many troops in 2 months. Yes, you can. You can.
Right. That's the number one thing that I noticed, like, of the people yelling at you on Twitter when you tweeted this out, is everyone, like, the people who were defending these lunatics were saying, oh, you know, it's just too fast. Like, you can't do it this fast. And you correctly pointed out, they're not talking about everyone. Like, Trump, he's not talking about everyone. It's like, what was it, 2,500 in Afghanistan and 500 in Iraq?
Yes. And by the way, I don't know. I think it's less dangerous for soldiers to be at home with their loved ones. Maybe not now because we have a pandemic that the president's not doing anything about. But overall, I think it's less dangerous. She says he's doing this at the expense of the safety of the troops. So they're more safe in war zones where they could be, IUDs could explode wherever they are. They could be bombed. Taliban, fighting with the Taliban or ISIS or wherever. What madness? What kind of ridiculous argument is this? It's like if Donald Trump does anything, forget why he's doing it. I don't really care. If Donald Trump does anything, we have to come up with a reason that it's dangerous, that it's a security threat, that he's moving too quickly. Meanwhile, we're going on 20 years. Do you think in 20 years they haven't come up with a plan for withdrawal? She's saying it's too quickly to try to do it in 2 months. You think they don't already have the plans already drawn up on how to move troops out safely? By the way, remember that Washington Post story? I think it was earlier this year. One rare exception, they do good work. They had an amazing story on this war in Afghanistan. Just literally trillions of dollars that have been wasted. That generals had commands from the Pentagon, just spend the money. It doesn't matter what you spend it on. Giving them a quota of how much money you have to spend a day. Doesn't matter what you're spending it on. It's just insane. And you want to know something? Why they're saying this is because they exist to maintain the status quo. And removing troops in the military-industrial complex, you never actually fully remove troops from countries. When America goes somewhere, they're committed. It's not like a wham, bam, slam, thank you, ma'am kind of relationship. We got troops in Germany still, Japan. I mean, there's documentaries about the military bases we have all over the world. So,
Yeah, we have like over.
They're not upset that it's happening too quickly, Jen. They're upset that it's happening at all.
Well, whenever the military-industrial complex gets like too worried that we're gonna leave a place or pull out of a war or stop a war, or like whenever we're like done doing our coup, our latest coup, the thing the military-industrial complex always says is, oh, well, we're going to leave a vacuum. They're going to attack our allies. They're going to attack the innocent civilians. Like, they paint this real sob story. And don't get me wrong, it does happen. It can leave a vacuum where people, innocent people, get hurt, where our allies do get hurt, where innocent people in the land we've overtaken and cooed do get hurt. So I'm not making that case, but it can be done right, and it should be done right. We cannot forever stay occupying places. These warmongers are going to always use this excuse, always. So it's not a surprise I've acted surprised about this CNN clip. It's truly not a surprise. I think it's just so brazen. Like, that's what the surprise is. I can't get over just how, and Brianna herself, it's just, she was almost robotic, like reading from a teleprompter. And then we have Gloria, which I know you're going to rant about her because she was really something special there in that clip. And then, what's her name, Abby Phillip. Like, it was just, it was a really telling clip that summarizes our us as a nation in modern history and where we are today.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.